Hello, and welcome to yet another cube draft. Man, what an opening pack. There's Gideon, there's Elspeth, there's Baneslayer. White is gonna be picked to my left. Insanely big. Seems very doubtful that one of these will wheel. And maybe we should jump into another color for that reason. Because pack 2 isn't gonna be white for us. I do think Gideon is good enough, right? Maybe Shrigma. Maybe Ralzarek. And I think Gideon is the stronger pick. Like Elspeth is pretty good as well, but Gideon is just a bit better in my opinion. Then there's Reviarch. There's also Icicron Scepter. I'm gonna pick up Icicron Scepter. I really like the card. You can do pretty fun things with it. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, but just gonna pick up the Icicron. Wanna make this pretty interesting deck as well. Like last deck I had, I found it to be better than it's actually achieved. Went 1-2 with a buy, so went 0-2 and got a buy, but man, and it's been like 15 minutes ago when that ended, so I'm probably still not completely untilted, but I'll be fine. Like because of playing poker, I obviously understand the concept of untilting and how to improve your mental game. So I think I'll be fine. I shouldn't have that many issues with tilting here. There's a lot of Birds of Paradise here. Prettiest avatar ever. I don't even know if I want to change it. Can I even change it from here on? I don't think so. So someone's slow. So at this point we're looking for cards we can use with Icicron Scepter. But there's also Oblivion Ring. Like Celestial Flare is fine, Augur Ball is fine, Force Spike is fine. But I don't think I can pass up an Oblivion Ring just to have the interaction with Celestial Flare and Icicron. Sure, Augur Ball I would want as well, but that already commits us to another color, which might as well be black. And I think white, if we pick up Celestial Flare, we're committed to that anyway, so Oblivion Ring is then a bit better. Sure, there's Celestial Flare with Icicron Scepter interaction, which is pretty strong. But O-Ring is like one of the best cards you can want. Like it can get rid of Planeswalkers, which is a big deal. As you saw in the previous one, because Karn almost got us that game if the guy didn't draw, you know, the card he needed. So outside of this, there isn't anything that works with Icicron, but there's a Fate's Feathers again, which is the second best, I guess. It's a really good one, and I am gonna pick it here, like deny people to my left. There's a lot of white in all of this pack, so people to my left are gonna be white, no matter what. Like it doesn't matter what I pick, they're gonna be white because I can't deny them white because the packs are full of white cards. But it doesn't matter, our second color will do what it needs to. So maybe we go blue, reds, white. If Ralzarek wheels, we're definitely jumping into that because those have a lot of cards with Icicron Scepter that work really well. I'm surprised I actually added Fire Ice to the cube and that it wasn't in here before, because that card is pretty solid, especially with Icicron Scepter, of course. But even in just a mono red deck, it's, I mean, Fire is a good enough spell, right? 2 mana, you can divide 2 damage. I think a lot of people would want that. There's a spell for 1 mana that does the same, but I mean, Fire Rise at least gives you options. There's Dreadbore, but it's a sorcery. I forgot about that. There's Living Dead. We can go for that again. There's also Old Man of the Sea and Skinrender. We haven't seen a lot of red, so maybe red is being cut. The fact that Living Dead is still here is pretty interesting. So maybe I pick that up and just see where it leads me. But then I'm not a big fan of white-black, to be honest, so we want the third color there, which is probably blue. Yeah, let's just pick up the Living Dead. It's a strong card. There's a Repulse, which I really like. It doesn't work with Ice Crown because it costs 3 mana, of course. There's also Plateau, so if you jump into red instead, but I think blue is more likely. There's also Talia, which is okay. It does work against my deck at this point, so I think Repulse is a bit better. Then there's Skeleton Scrying and this figure. I think this figure is better, it works with Ice Crown. There's also Lily, which screwed me over last game. I really don't like that Lily. I think this figure is better. Scrubland is definitely something I want, but I think Weird Wayfarer is something I can't pass up here. It's white, it fixes my mana, and it's a bit better than the fixed land because this fixes any kind of color combination I want to go. So Hero's Downfall wheels, there's also Underground River, but I can't pass up a Hero's Downfall. Gul'Dras wheels, wow, black is definitely open. Urborg wheels, so let's pick up that. Run over Swamp. Bloodgift Demon wheels and this wheels, wow. Is this better than Bloodgift Demon? We don't have a lot of creatures yet. And a 5/4 flyer that draws you extra cards is pretty good, so let's pick it up. No Icy Conceptor interaction yet outside of this figure, so we might not play it, but I mean we have 2 packs and a bit to go. The bit doesn't really have anything special in it. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, when yesterday evening I went out and when I came back I have to cross a bridge and they were working on it, and while working on it, it collapsed. So the bridge part, the part that goes higher and lower, crashed on one side, so it was hanging totally sideways in the length, which was pretty cool to see. That's the very first time I see a bridge do something like that. They're still not out, like it's been like 16 hours ago that happened, and they still have no idea how they want to fix it. Because the bridge is pretty heavy, and I think one of the cables snapped or something. I don't know what happened. Like they were working on it when it happened, so they must have done something. God damn it, I was talking. Should have picked a skin render there, so we're lacking a skin render. Ah man, should have had a skin render. I heard something and I was looking at the area, but there was nothing there. So Blade Splicer has to be the pick here, I think. Like Repulse, sure, but we're not jumping into blue yet. Just for Repulse and Ice Conceptor, and there doesn't seem to be a lot. Maybe I went a bit too fast with that pick though. Again, need to slow down my game, I guess. Because I do make mistakes. I do make plenty of mistakes just because I play a bit too fast. I think. Like I'm pretty sure about which line I want to take most of the time, but it means that I miss things, and that's obviously not good. So yeah, there should be skin render here over the Wild Nakato. Paints here doesn't look like we want. Source of Plowshares probably. There's also Yona eventually, but I think Source of Plowshares is one of these stronger cards. Reanimate would be fine. Archangel is fine. Yona is fine. Painseer is fine. Fire Eyes is okay. Because we do have the Ice Conceptor, but we don't want to split into 2 other colors, so we're just gonna run it for one of the 2. Here we have the Angel. I think the Angel is one of the stronger late game cards possible. There's also Wall and Linvala, but I think the Wall is very likely to wheel. So we're gonna go for the Angel. It's a really good card in my opinion. There's 8.5 Tails, which is pretty strong. There's also Student of Warfare, but I think 8.5 Tails, like I have played with it once and I actually haven't used it, but I think it's strong enough to have in a deck. Like Skull Descrying is like a 6-drop, right? Yeah, something like that. So let's put this there and this there. Count it as a 6-drop. There's Snuvout, but there's also Silver Knight. Snuvout is removal though, but we already have 2 of those. Silver Knight is really good against Red X. I think I prefer Silver Knight over Snuvout here. We are like somewhat aggro. We get Stoneforge Mystic, but no equipment so far. Not really anything else for us so far, so we are gonna pick up the Stoneforge Mystic and hope pack 3 brings us an equipment. There's no way we're getting past an equipment 7 pick here. Unless it's like a really crappy one. So it has to be in our next pack. Or we drafted a useless Stoneforge, but there's not much. We passed over it though. So there's Profane Command, but there's also Yosei. Which one is better? I think Yosei is a bit better. Though this card is really good though. But I'm really a big fan of Yosei, to be honest. Though it sounds weird, but I really overvalue this card, I think. I really overvalue a lot of those dragons like Keiga as well. Because I played with them a lot as well. When they were legal in Standard. Maybe that gives me a bit of bias towards them, because they were really good in Standard, and then of course they printed Titans, which were even worse. There's Nezumi Shortfang, there's also Silent Spectre, but I think Nezumi Shortfang is a better pick. So far Repulse is gone, of course. We're just 2 colors here, in which case maybe Weathered Wayfarer is gone. Depends on what I'm getting, and at this point Isochron Scepter is gone. We have 2 targets for it. Of course, Sword Splasher is pretty nuts for it, but I think 2 targets is a bit too low. There's Skeletal Scrying, which doesn't actually do anything. If it was an additional cost, but that's a good question. I don't think you can. Like, there is an interaction where you pay it as an additional cost and then the X becomes the additional cost. I'm not sure if it works that way with Skull Scrying, and I am actually willing to find it out. Corrupt is pretty interesting here. I think it's better than the other cards. Like, I really don't like this. So we'll just pick up the Corrupt and not play it. There's a Spear, which I think is better than the other cards. We only have 10 creatures, but Spear is okay-ish. Not a big fan of it though, but it's okay. It's good enough, I guess. The problem is you don't wanna keep 3 mana open all the damn time, just in case your opponent decides to attack, because you can just decide not to attack. I think Tendrils of Corruption is a bit better than Gatekeeper, especially with Urborg. Gatekeeper is a bit greedy, to be honest. Precinct Captain is also pretty good, especially with Spear. Yeah, let's go for that one. Let's try it out, and maybe go for somewhat more of a semi-aggro mid-range, and when they clear our board, we're just living dead and get our board back. Mana Tide, nice pick up here. So what do we want out of our last pack? We want equipment, preferably sort of Fire and Ice, I guess. Tectonic Edge is pretty decent. Ovenwald Trigger is pretty nice card. Wow, this card's wheeled. Like, I played with it last time. When I had it in play, it was really good. Like, it's a really solid card here. It's a really solid card in general. That's what I want to say. Like 6 mana, 6/6. Like, you pay that for Titans as well, right? And the ability is really nice. So we do get a sword, we also get a hero, but I don't think we can pass up an equipment with the Stoneforge in our deck. Hope this wheels, very unlikely. This might wheel, but that's about it that we want. But can't pass up a sword when we want it with Stoneforge. And it's a decent sword in limited, like it's a 3-turn clock automatically. The protection from green, meh, protection from blue, meh. But giving +2/+2 to a creature is fine, and then making tokens is pretty good as well. So far, Isochron Scepter is gone. Probably Weathered Wayfarer gone, but I don't think we want to be cutting too many creatures. Skelter Scrying might be gone because we don't want to be removing our graveyard that heavily with Living Dead in our deck. Tamio, huh? Nice card. Treachery as well. But it has to be Fire Action Rager. Like it fits our colors. It's a creature that draws us a card. This is okay, but I think Rager is better just because it draws a card. I'm really curious how this is gonna work out. Haven't played with it yet. There's a Karn. No clue why that wheel so far. Like, what are people picking over a Karn? Slam Dunk. One of these two might wheel. This might wheel. Which I'll definitely pick up. So there's 3 cards that I want. Rolling Earthquake is pretty annoying, but can't pass up a Karn. The card is just sick. It can win games on its own. It's really hard to kill it once your opponent has control. Do you have to pay? Yeah, you have to pay. Like, if this effect just did it, it would have been way better, but now I think I picked Lifebane Zombie over it. Yeah, I really don't like it. They added it and it's a pretty interesting mechanic, but I really don't like cards that need other cards to work with. I think Knight of Infamy is the better one here for me. Then probably Graveborn Muse. There's also Signing Blood, which draws me cards, but Graveborn Muse draws me cards as well. And I think I'm gonna go for a creature heavy deck, so let's do it like that. I think we got Weathered Wayfarer, we got Manatite. The Spear is gonna stay if we're gonna do it like this. There's Braids. It isn't that bad, to be honest, but I'm probably not gonna main deck it. Probably not gonna play Skelter Scrying because we don't wanna be, emptying our graveyard that often. Especially not with Short Fang. Living Dead, sorry. This isn't Graveyard, this is Short Fang. So we still have 1 card too many. Which might be one of the late game cards that I want out. Maybe the Blood Gift Demon now that I have Graveborn Muse, but seems unlikely. There's an Emrakul. Just kidding. So Vampire Lacerator, or Lacerator? Lacerator? I think it's Lacerator. A lace is a shoe tie, right? A shoelace. And to lash. Lacerator. I'm not sure. Makeshift Mannequin seems a bit better than Bad Moon. Probably again not gonna main deck it, but it's an okay card for sure. So we have 3 removal cards, 4 removal cards, 5 removal cards, 6 if you count Golder as Assassin. We have a decent deck here. You just need to find 2 spots to remove. We have 15 creatures. So we have 10 non-creature cards, of which 4 are removal cards. 1 is Karn, which is sick. 1 is Gideon, which is sick. Hate Mana League. Just hate draft, I mean. It's not that I hate the card, I just, might as well hate draft it. This is pretty good with Spear, I think. Night's Whispers, thank you. Draw more cards. It gets Domirad is the more annoying card against me. So that's the other event where I went 1-2. Like, don't drop, like the other guy that went 0-2 drops. So I get a buy, I automatically win that game, I get 6 Phantom points. I never drop, I think. Airbrush. I might actually play it. It seems weird, I'm actually not a big fan of these cards. But I might... Oh, wow. Wow. There's no way. There's no way here. This is gonna be a hard deck to build. So, I don't think I want any of these yet, so let's just put them in, but let's see. So we have 8 cards too many. So let's put the non-creatures here. Yes, I want it like that. Thank you. So non-creatures here. Fate's Feathers, Gideon, Living Deaths, Karn. Okay. So we have 18 creatures and 11 non-creature spells. I think Karn has to be in, Gideon has to be in, Fate's Feathers has to be in, Oblivion Ring has to be in, and Sword has to be in. Like sort of body mines because of Stoneforge. I think we can cut like a few creatures. Like Withered Wayfarer probably isn't that great for us. Nightwish Short Fang. These all seem pretty solid. These all seem. Oh, this is a non-creature, of course. These all seem pretty solid. Maybe not this, but it's okay. Airbrush. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So probably not good enough. Although it does draw cards. So maybe we can run this over one of these two. It's just a bit more expensive though, but we might sideboard in against some control decks. Let's put it like that. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think I wanted this figure because we already have 4 removal. I think having a 5th here is a bit too much. Don't think we want a Monotite yet. If we go up against control, we probably bring it in. So 3 more cards to be gone. Maybe Signing Blood is gone because we do have 2 creatures that actually draw cards as well. How good is Living Dead? Like they AoE, then play a creature, we Living Dead, get everything back. I think that's good enough. So 2 more cards to be gone. I think we don't want Pristine Angel. What the hell is it still doing in here? Angel of Serenity is pretty good with our graveyard again. Yosei is just a really good card. What do I want out here? Maybe the Lacerator. I think it's the only card that actually doesn't do anything extra. Just a 2/2 that deals me damage. Yeah, probably. Let's still think about this though. Like if we cut this, this is obviously worse, especially if we cut this. So if we bring these in, we have to bring these 2 in as well. So we then have to cut 3 cards. I do actually want to Signing Blood in, but I'm not sure what I want to cut for it. I mean, I already had to cut these figures and so on, which are pretty strong cards. Where is this figure? Oh, it's there. Why the hell does this edit here and this edit here? Yeah, I mean, the way these things work doesn't make much sense to me so far. I think Swords is better than this figure. And this is obviously better than Signing Blood just because it can be misdirected. The mana cost is obviously better. It's a bit annoying that these all cost double white. Like my black is actually a bit better than these. Maybe we just cut these and cut these, bring in these. No, don't really like that. Okay, let's keep it like this, and it says 8/7. We do already have a tomb. Seems about correct. Let's just sort by color. Wow, do I have combine groups? Sort by color. Seems about correct, right? Yeah. So I'll see you guys for round 1.